Hi guys, I hope that you are doing well, and in today's video I would like to discuss a beautiful conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune in the sign of Pisces on 12th of April. This is going to be one of the most memorable events in our lives. It is going to be one of the most maybe happiest, but also the most mysterious events in our lives that are going to be hard to explain, but at the same time we're going to just go with it. We're going to go with the flow just like Pisces wants us to. Why memorable? Why mysterious? Well, because this conjunction doesn't happen very often, you know. Neptune and Jupiter tend to conjunct each other every 12 years or so, which isn't really that uncommon if you think about it, considering the cycle of other planets. However, when they do meet in Pisces, that's a very rare event. That happens every 165, 66 years or so. So imagine that we will never experience anything like this again in our lifetime, and this is a moment to cherish, this is a moment to be expecting, and this is the moment to possibly even be prepared for. However, I don't think that we're going to be able to actually prepare for it no matter how much we try, because Pisces is a water sign. Jupiter and Neptune aren't necessarily the biggest planners, and I feel like no matter what happens that day, we will not be able to control, because those watery energies, that energy of almost like higher realms stepping in some way and helping us on our path, that is going to be something that we are unable to control, and that is also something that we should literally accept into our life. Some of you guys may have already been experiencing this energy, you know, it may have started already in March. I just got engaged hours ago, guys. Oh my god, I'm still just in shock, you know, and I know I'm ascendant in Pisces, so if you are any placement in Pisces, especially sun, moon, or ascendant, that could be a big deal for you, and that could be already going on, you know what I mean, before April. But I'm in shock and I'm absolutely happy, and I did want to share this, even though this isn't a channel about me, my life in any way, but I did share my baby boy with you guys, and now I'm sharing this. So yes, anyway, back to our forecast. So it's, again, a very interesting event because it is going to happen in the sign of Pisces, where both planets feel like home because they are home. And also, this particular conjunction will almost force us in a way to view the world through the lens of Pisces, through the water sign. It may be challenging for those that don't have any water in their chart. It may be challenging to literally take on that water energy and feel like a Pisces for a few days, weeks, depending on how long you're really gonna feel it. But yes, for some of us, it can be a difficult transition. And some signs may feel literally confused by this transit, because when Neptune meets Jupiter, Neptune is fog and Jupiter is expansion. So some people can feel really confused around that time. They can feel like they have fog in their brain, in their mind, that they are unable to make solid decisions, that they are unable to see the future clearly, that they're simply unable to kind of predict what to do. I don't know, but it obviously is going to play out differently for everyone. But this is going to be an event that you literally have to accept and go with the flow with, because with Pisces energy, you're going to feel more sensitive, you're going to feel more compassionate. You may also be easier deceived or be able to deceive others, so watch out for that too. You may start attracting different people that are maybe not so fortunate, and maybe, you know, on one hand that's maybe a good thing to be able to help people that are less fortunate than you, for example. However, on the other hand, you may start attracting people that want to suck your energy out, right? Like energy vampires. You may start attracting people around that time that are, I don't know, into drugs, alcohol, you know, just kind of like that unhealthy lifestyle, because that's what Pisces and Neptune rule, right? And Jupiter expands that kind of acquaintances. So obviously watch out for your acquaintances around this time and how people behave around you around this time. There could be more alcohol consumption, there could be more toxicity in a way. You know, by toxicity I mean alcohol, drugs, you know, some kind of substances that are not healthy for you, that are actually harmful for you. It all could get very overwhelming. So be careful around this time. However, I do encourage to get a little more spiritual around this time. What can you do? You can literally try and connect with the divine, try and connect with higher powers, whether it's through, I don't know, oracle cards, asking questions, you know, with the pendulum, with tarot. Again, be careful who you attract, because with a pendulum you can attract different spirits, but you know, you can try and connect with the divine and try and maybe receive some answers, because they will be easier received than any other time. And this is that one moment in your lifetime when you can ask a question and receive a response, probably much easier than usual. You can expect dreams, you can expect a download of different insights and just messages from the divine about your current life situation, about future steps, maybe something that needed to be uncovered long time ago, and now it's time that the truth will be revealed, right? It's like a big reveal. Something is coming to the surface. The rose-colored glasses are falling down and you're able to see the situation clearly. So many things could happen, but my advice is to accept the compassion that you might be feeling, accept that feeling, that sensitivity that you might start feeling around this time. Start believing more in spirituality, in spiritual beings. Try to connect with them. Try to be open to any kind of information, psychic information that may be coming your way, because that is the time. There's no other perfect time for this kind of practices, for this kind of compassion than now. And in our society currently today, not trying to talk about worldly events right now, obviously, you know, I'm a personal astrologer, but I want to mention that we don't have enough compassion nowadays. We don't have enough of that sympathy for others, genuine love, genuine compassion for others, right? Whether they are less fortunate than us or not. And around this time, you will feel that compassion, you will feel that kindness, you will feel that love. You will want to sacrifice, possibly for other people, and other people may want to sacrifice for you. Obviously, since Neptune is kind of limitless, you know, we do want to keep it all in more of like moderation, right? But at the same time, be open. And if you maybe have been not a believer, right, in the past, maybe you didn't really have a specific path, maybe you didn't have a specific set of beliefs, or maybe you were disappointed, or maybe you're just the type of person that simply doesn't really care about anybody else. You know, you just you care about yourself, about your goals, and that's fine. But this particular transit will take you on a different path. We'll take you on that Pisces path, where you're gonna see the world through the Pisces lens, where you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so sensitive, you know, I feel what this person is feeling, you know, I believe in this insight that I received today. I know it's from higher power. I know that this is something that was meant to come to me. You'll be more prone to believing things, or maybe prone is the wrong word that I'm trying to say here in English, but maybe you will simply be more open to the divine messages, to the divine guidance. And this is the transit that is going to put us on the right divine path, if that makes sense. It's going to bring us closer to our divine destiny, and some signs are going to have more challenge with it than others. But which signs are going to feel it in the most positive way? Pisces is going to feel it in the most positive way, but also Scorpios and Cancers. I do, however, want to mention that Scorpios are going to may have a little bit of trouble with this, because the South node that the conjunction is making a trine to is actually going to be in your first house, Scorpio. So yes, while it can be a little bit more challenging to maybe adapt, to adjust to this divine calling, to this new path that you need to be on, I think you'll still be able to do it with more ease, right? Maybe at first it may be a little confusing, right? But then you will be able to take the path because you know it's meant for you. Cancers, you're going to have a blast here. It's going to be a similar, I want to say it's going to be a similar transition for you as it would be for Pisces, and it is going to be something that definitely makes you happy, something that gives you motivation and confidence in the future, and it's going to bring you closer to the divine. But I'm going to do a forecast for everybody. Virgo, especially if you are Virgo ascendant, this is also a great transit for you. If you are Sun in Virgo, then I'm going to move on to the signs that are going to have a little bit more challenge with this. So I would say that Gemini and Sagittarius, since Pisces does square you guys, that means that it's making a more challenging aspect to you. That means that at first the situation will be very foggy and uncertain, and you may have to really be open-minded to accept it and to allow yourself to step out of your boundaries, right? Allow yourself to step onto this path. And I believe that you're going to do very well. It's just that, you know, the conjunction, yes, it can play out in many different ways. You know, on the worldly level, it can even bring floods and all kinds of events that are connected with water or liquids, right? But on the personal level, what can it be? It can be something that tries to bring you closer to the spirituality, tries to bring you closer to your divine path. And for some signs, it's a more challenging aspect, meaning that they may be a little bit more stubborn to accept that new path. And Virgo, obviously, you know, if you are Virgo ascendant, I think it will be an easier transition for you. If you are a Virgo sun, I think you will experience a little bit of opposition at first, but then you will be able to, again, make those necessary steps and allow yourself to step on this new path. And then who is going to have more opportunity to take action? Who is going to be someone that still has to do it on their own, to make a choice on their own, to enter a new path, right, on their own. However, there will be that helping hand. There will be a very subtle guidance. These are Capricorn and Taurus, okay? These signs are going to experience easy flowing energy because the conjunction is making a sextile to you. Now, anybody whose degrees of all the signs that I just mentioned, if your degrees are between 21 degrees and 26 degrees, right, because the conjunction is at 23 degrees, so you want to be close to 23 degrees, then you're going to experience this transit very strongly. So now let's move on to the signs. I do want to do a quick forecast for everyone. This is going to be tarot free, okay, just astrology. So Aries, your conjunction Jupiter and Neptune is happening in the 12th house, and it makes a trine to South Node in your 8th house. So if you have any addictions, they may come up to the surface around this time. However, with the addictions, I believe that healing could come up as well, or at least some sort of treatment, right? A solution to this particular situation may also come up. And you have a very traditional Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in the 12th, because Pisces is the home for both Jupiter and Neptune, and 12th house is a home of Neptune and Jupiter, actually, even though it also has 9th house, but it feels very good in the 12th house, and it will literally expand your psychic abilities if you are open to it. Because I know that Aries is on the go. Aries isn't the most psychic sign, not because they can't be, but because they don't necessarily want to be. But here you can really give it a try. You can really ask God, universe, any deity, whatever you believe in, right? You can ask for guidance, angels, right? You can ask for guidance, you can ask for messages. Your answers, your questions can be answered around this time, which is very exciting. Realization that comes from within, right? Something is in your life that you're going to very strongly realize around this time. Expansion of your intuition, right? Your intuition is going to be heightened and it's going to be talking to you very strongly. Just make sure you're the one that's actually catching the messages, right? Make sure that you're listening. There will be some sort of help, divine help, or maybe literal help from doctors. You know, 12th house rules that too. If you are emotionally or mentally unstable currently, if you are going through maybe grief, if you're going through a period of loss, that you just lost someone or something, for example, there is that healing that comes in the 12th house, you know, to be able to help you. And simply getting close to the higher powers, feeling more in tune with what's up there, you know, and that I believe is an amazing feeling. And of course, you know, detaching from the past. 12th house rules our past. And you know, I feel like it is going to be very beneficial, this particular transit, because while it can also bring up some unpleasant memories, some traumas to the surface, it will right away find a solution to heal you as well and put you on that track, on the healthier track where you belong. You know, maybe you are trying to get into your divine destiny, right? Somehow, maybe you're trying to have that path, the right path that you connect with 100%, but something's always in the way. I feel like this conjunction will help you get out of that rut, you know, and it will put you on the path that's very clear, that's very spiritual, and that is in tune with your soul. So I believe this is an amazing transit, guys. And now we're moving on to Taurus. So Jupiter and Neptune are conjunct in your 11th house, and they're making a trine to the South Node in your 7th house. You will definitely realize who is your friend and who is not. There will be a moment where the rose-colored glasses will drop and you will see who is truly, genuinely your friend, who is someone that is just using you or trying to take advantage of you, right? That is going to be very visible in your social circle. It will be a very subtle push towards cleansing, like creating a new list of friends and like cleansing the list, you know, getting rid of all the negative people, all the energy vampires, you know. And I definitely recommend to Taurus, you know, to do that once in a while, because us Tauruses, we're very patient with everybody and they just go on and on and on, and you know, they suck all of our energy out and then we just have nothing left. So I think this is going to be very therapeutic for Taurus, you know, to make sure that they kind of keep their friends list in check. If you have a job in the area of spirituality, okay, then you could receive really big results here, because 11th house is our gains, our results, especially from hard work. And if it's something connected to spirituality, like for example, I don't know, you have a spiritual business, you could see some really nice results here. Also, by the way, sometimes this conjunction can indicate fame in some kind of circles, right? 11th house is larger audience or a friends group or some kind of a community where everybody's working on the same goal together. So there could be maybe fame there. Not saying that you will be famous worldwide, countrywide, but you could be famous within your own circles there, which I find very exciting, considering a trine to the South Node in the 7th house. Not only that you're cleansing your social circle here, getting rid of negative people, but you're also may potentially be entering a new social circle with really nice connections, and maybe your reputation is going to also receive a boost with this nice energy. Now, Gemini, Jupiter and Neptune is conjunct in your 10th house, and it's making a trine to your South Node in the 6th house. So this is an incredibly important transit for you guys. Maybe a change of status may happen, maybe a change in your reputation. Reputation can rise, reputation can fall. You know what I mean, right? But at the same time, I almost feel like this is something good that's coming to you. And Pisces wants to heal you. Pisces wants to offer you something that's in connection with your soul, right? Wants you to push closer to the divine so that you believe in divine. But I feel like because of the square, you will have to simply do more work. You know, you will just have to prove yourself in order to change that status. For example, you will have to go to an interview and prove yourself. You will have to maybe respond to authorities somehow, right? You may have to kind of protect your reputation, but it all works out in the end. That's the most important. And also what's interesting with this particular transit is that there may be a person in your life, someone that you may have considered an authority, someone that you may have looked up to, or maybe still look up to, but you may find out some truth about this person, because again, rose-colored glasses may drop around this time, and you may feel like this isn't someone that you used to praise, almost respect, right? This is a different person now. But again, this isn't just someone random, you know, it is someone that you consider your authority, the authority, I mean, or maybe like your boss, you know, someone like that. Changes in your career, and to be completely fair, you know, this could be a new path in career. A new professional path can be described by this transit, because at first it wants to push you out of something that doesn't serve you, right? And it wants to bring you on the right path, in the right direction. So don't fear this though. And if you're very happy in your career, then it's not going to be it, okay? It's for those that are doubting the situation, or for those that have been trying really hard and it's not working out. It can bring you a totally new path in your career that you will enjoy. And honestly, for ascendants in Gemini, there could even be fame, because Jupiter and Neptune are conjunct in your 10th house, the highest point in your chart, the top point, right? And that can bring you either a rise of reputation or even fame. Okay, but again, reputation and fame, they can be different, right? Different matters. So it's up to you. But I do think that it's related a lot to your professional goals and your status and your achievements. And I think you will see some results here. And now we're moving on to Cancer. So Jupiter and Neptune are going to be conjunct in your 9th house, and they're going to trine your South Node in your 5th house. This is a bliss. This is a very beautiful transit for you, because the conjunction is making a trine to you. The South Node is making a trine to you. So you have this grand trine with these beautiful transits. And realistically, if you are somewhere between 21 degrees of Cancer up until like 26 degrees of Cancer, that is very strong, you know, but I think you're going to feel it regardless of your degrees. This could be final news, or not final necessarily, but maybe something that has been long awaited for, something that you've been almost impatient for, some news you could receive. And it could come from afar, or it could come regarding your visa, regarding travel, either from afar or about your visa, about your passport, about your travel, or it could come about a certain legal situation that may be going on in your life. And truthfully, not only that the horizons may be open to you to travel, but you can also actually find out that your legal case is coming to fruition, and most likely in your favor, because of the grand trine, because of how the planets are liking you around this time. I feel like it's going to be a big win, guys, and I'm very excited for you. You start truly believing in higher power, you know, you start understanding that yes, someone is guiding me, God exists, or gods exist, or whatever you are, you know, Christian, pagan, Buddhist, whatever, but you know deep down, not just deep down, I mean, you know with all of your being that something exists, and that something guides you, and something loves you, and something is there for you. And that is a beautiful, amazing feeling. You can have this new worldview almost, in a way, you know. You may see your future, you may see your life and the world around you with new eyes, in a way. That's, like I said, I'm reminding you that this is the event of a lifetime, literally. You will not live until the next one. It's just impossible. And that is why That's a big one, you know, so I'm very excited for you, Cancer. Now I'm moving on to Leo. Leo, Jupiter and Neptune are conjunct in your 8th house, and they're going to be making a trine to South Node in your 4th house. So if you have any addictions, 8th house, right, they are going to come up to the surface. But the good thing here is that with the addictions, with the issues, there will also be healing that comes, or treatment that comes, or a solution that comes as well. So that is really nice to know here. Also, secrets, right? We have 4th house here, which is also the hidden house. It is the house of the past and something that other people do not see. And here you may find that 8th house as well, secrets. You may find that something that has been long buried in a way, long forgotten, or maybe it's an actual secret that may potentially come up to the surface. But I don't want to say that it's your secret. I think it's something that maybe you haven't been aware of in a long time, and it could be also a realization about yourself. 4th house, yourself, right? Deep down, your soul. And these could be very tremendous breakthroughs because of these realizations, because of these insights into your own soul. You know, like something psychological is almost going to shift within you. But I don't want to say psychological, I want to say also spiritual. You know, it's like a new you, but a spiritual version. It's like you may be digging deep for answers, you know, within your soul, and you will find them. You will find them, and they will help you transform yourself. They will help you heal. They will help you move forward, which is amazing. You know what's interesting? There could be a very big financial income stream, or just income coming your way, for example, from some sort of a deal, financial deal. You know, something is finally going to come to fruition. You're going to receive a pretty nice sum of money, maybe through IRS, for example, like you're getting your taxes back. You know, maybe it is a sale of a property, or maybe you're going to be working with a very good client, like financially good for you. That's what I mean. And you will receive a sum of money. But also be mindful here, because Neptune and Jupiter can attract tricksters in your life, can attract people that are trying to get money out of you. So I would be very mindful with all these deals. You know, as long as you know that it's a legitimate one and it's been going on for a while, then stay confident, right? But Neptune still rules tricksters. So be careful if somebody is trying to get you to sign a loan, right, and things like that. Now, this one is a very rare situation, but I still want to mention it because it might resonate with someone. If you've had a relative pass away, you may be able to connect with them around this time through a medium, or with your own power and with your own will. Because we have a very mysterious, very spiritual conjunction in the 8th house of mysticism, occult, and spirituality. And it's making a trine to the South Node, the past, in the 4th house, relatives, also the past. So maybe you could have that spiritual connection with someone that may have passed away. And again, like I said, this isn't for everyone, but I thought I'd mention it anyway, because for some people it might be important. But now we're moving on to Virgo. Virgo. Jupiter and Neptune are going to be conjunct in your 7th house, and they are going to make a trine to South Node in the 3rd. My future husband is a Virgo rising, and I think that, you know, 7th house, having that conjunction, it could actually indicate a wedding, literally. It could indicate the next step in your relationship with someone. And keep in mind, I'm not talking about this from the perspective of my current situation. Objectively, I am saying that having this beautiful, amazing conjunction in the 7th house, that's when you really get on the next level with someone. And Neptune is love. Jupiter expands it. It's the unbearable kind of love. You know, this is unconditional. spiritual. It's the strongest spiritual connection, the deepest feelings that you can have with someone, and you could experience that around this time. They could, you know, the feelings could mature, the relationship could mature and step completely on the next level here. And it's not just falling in love. No, it's not just lust, right? It's not just liking someone or thinking that you like them or in love with them. It is loving someone, if that makes sense. And that could be amazing. However, since Neptune has the other side of the coin, you could unfortunately also experience lies from the side of the partner, right? If it's not unconditional love, and the next step, well, it could be lies, you know, it could be maybe exposing a partner, right? Something regarding this partner comes to the surface, and like you're like, I know now, I've known this whole time, I had a feeling, or like, you know, there is intuition there that's speaking that something is about to happen, and it happens, and it's connected to other people or your close social circle or your partner. This is something that will become clear between you and someone else around this time. Like, relationships can feel like fairy tale, you know, so very nice. However, you know, on the mundane level, if we're not talking about love and spirituality, this can be, for example, a great deal that's finally going to come to fruition. You're going to sign a certain contract. You may finally finish a contract, you know, and get some benefits, get some beautiful results from there. Because, you know, we're also having a trine here in the third house, in South Node in the third house, meaning that, you know, there is some kind of paper possibly that will be signed, or a contract, or a diploma that will be received that will help you in your future path. So many things, guys, but I do believe that it's going to be a beautiful aspect for you, transit, I mean, for you. But what I do want to say also is that if you're a Virgo sun, you may feel that slight opposition at first. But if you're a Virgo rising, it will be more natural for you, will be smoother sailing for you right away. Libra, Jupiter and Neptune will conjunct together in your 6th house, and they will make a trine to South Node in your 2nd house. So depending on the state of your health, there may be a problem that comes to the surface, but at the same time, there will also be a solution to that health issue that may come around right away, you know? So it's like you find a problem, and then you find a solution, you find a good doctor, you find a new diet, you know, that works with you, resonates with you, you feel good, and you continue kind of building that path. It could be literally healing of a problem that's been ongoing, that's been chronic, and that's amazing to see, you know, especially for those that maybe have lost all the faith in this, have lost all the belief that this disease maybe can be treated, and there could be almost like a blessing coming here in terms of your health. And obviously, the more severe the health is, the more help you can receive from the divine, the more spiritual this healing is going to feel like, right? It's almost like mysterious, mystical how it happened, you know? That could be that feeling. Of course, I cannot promise you this, right? But I'm just saying, you know, this is a very strong conjunction that doesn't happen every year or even 12 years. Happens every 166 years, guys. So that's why I'm saying it could be very, very important. You could add spiritual practices into your daily routine with this one, but these practices will stay either long-term or forever, or these practices are going to be life-changing. Because what could it be? You know, even if you add just yoga or meditation, it's going to heal you on all these different levels. It's going to heal all of your chakras. It's going to really make you a brand new person, and you're going to see the world, you're going to see your life through the prism, through the lens of Pisces, right? Where maybe you're more compassionate, you're more careful with your soul, to your body, you know, to your health. And once we get more spiritual, you know, once we kind of are more heightened in that way, we see people differently, we treat them differently, we view the life differently, and that could be in the cards for you. There could be some changes in your work life, at your workplace, I should say, and they could actually bring you closer to either a completely new source of income or a change in the source of income. And I believe that they will be positive. However, South Node is in your second house, meaning that there may be a source of income that you may want to detach from or adjust. No, I'm sorry, not adjust, change your source of income somehow. So that could be a thing here, okay? Now, Scorpio, Jupiter and Neptune are going to be conjunct in your 5th house, and they're going to trine South Node in your 1st house. So big one for you guys. And you know, you could receive a strike of luck, big strike of luck in the casino or like lottery. You know, like if you buy a lottery ticket, if you hit up a casino. But what I do want to say though is that Neptune can also trick you in a very hardcore way, and Jupiter can expand that trickiness. So please be careful. I'm saying that you have heightened luck here, right? If you go to a casino, if you buy a couple lottery tickets, whatever, but do not exaggerate, do not abuse it, okay? Because it can trick you as well. Be very careful with that energy, because at the end of the day, South Node is in your 1st house, right? Even though the conjunction makes a trine to you, it's liking you, but at the same time, you know, the South Node being in your 1st house, so it's like, hey, be careful here though. Do not fully lose yourself, right? If you are Scorpio Sun, it'll feel a little bit differently because South Node is not going to be in your 1st house. But either way, be mindful. Love, 5th house. You know, I was just talking about Virgo, and for Virgo, there is unconditional love. You know, the feeling of just this crazy love, but it's very mature. Deep feelings, crazy emotions, deep emotions, undescribable love. But it's very mature, it's going on the next level. For you, the difference here is that it's just starting for you. This kind of love for someone. So you could fall in love around this time because Neptune rules love, Jupiter expands it, Neptune rules unconditional, strong love, unexplainable, undescribable, like a fairy tale. And that is the kind of love that you could get lucky with around this time. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, you know, but it will be kind of starting here. Not necessarily quite maturing fully, but it'll be starting. You will realize exactly what you feel for someone, and you will know whether or not you want to move on with them to the next step. But the thing is that, you know, since Neptune also uncovers truths, this could uncover something about your love life that maybe you deserve to know. And it could go in either direction. But regardless, with the trine to you and just overall with this energy, I do think that these planets want you on the right track with the right person in the right relationship. And you will know exactly how things should be in your love life around this time. If you have business that is connected to spirituality, or if you have to be in contact with foreigners as well, connected to, again, your business or something that you do for work, but usually business, then there could be a breakthrough there. There could be something new happening there, and it's exciting, and it's almost like meant to be. It's your divine destiny, and you're very excited to move forward. And you realize that anything that happens in your life happens for a reason with the South Node in the 1st house. And you know that anything that's happening that you have to maybe adjust to, welcome in your life, let go out of your life, you know that it's making you a better person. You know that you're changing, but at the same time, you are becoming better and better and better and better. And that is a beautiful thing, guys. And now we're moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius. So Jupiter and Neptune are going to be conjunct in the 4th house, and they'll be making a trine to South Node in your 12th house. So a big one for you, a very, very big event. One of the ways how this can play out is that you're going to discover some kind of a secret about your family lineage, family history, family secrets, some kind of family secrets that can come up to the surface. They don't mean to be dramatic, but they're just hidden and you're going to discover them. This could also bring clarity regarding a property or regarding a family member as well. It's like you maybe had your own visualizations, had your own ideas about this property or this family or family member, but Neptune, and with the help of Jupiter, they're going to throw, get rid of your rose-colored glasses so you can see the reality clearly. There could be a very important conversation between you and a parent or you and a relative that will bring you both to the new level, to the new exciting path. This conversation may have needed to be had for a long time, and it can't be a better time than now, because this transit, yes, it may kind of push you to deal with this property, to deal with this relative, to uncover a certain situation that comes from your family, right? And it's not something that you necessarily maybe want to do at first. You may feel confused, in fact. But I think that this is exactly the time now. It's like the perfect time for you to finally get it over with, be done with it, and move on a happy note here. Because you need something here between you and somebody in your family to be able to move forward and to be able to gain that mutual understanding back. Or maybe gain it for the first time. I don't know if it was ever there in the past, right? You could also finally get over, finally heal a certain situation from the past that keeps coming up. It could be childhood traumas, it could be memories, very unpleasant memories, very negative, dark memories that could be coming up, that could be messing with you now, even now still. And there could be, honestly, a really amazing opportunity to get over that situation once and for all and to move on with life. So it might feel a little bit conflicting at first because the action will be required from you, but at the same time, you will thank yourself, you will thank the universe, you will thank the divine powers that they were there with you, that they created the situation for you so you could finally let go and move forward. Amazing, guys. And now we're moving on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, we've got Jupiter and Neptune in your 3rd house, and they will be trining South Node in your 11th house. So that's expansion of knowledge, expansion of education, of skills. You could feel around this time that you're very attracted to spiritual things. Things that are maybe, sometimes they even may seem silly to you. And don't get me wrong, I'm an earth sign, but I am a tarot reader, I am an astrologer, I'm pagan, you know what I mean? I have all of these things that regular people would have been like, that's stupid, And I mean, don't get me wrong, but a lot of Capricorns are very serious people. Yes, they enjoy a little bit of astrology here and there, but they take it lightly. They're more into analytical things, more serious things. Their careers a lot of times are not connected to spirituality. And I'm not trying to say that spirituality is silly. It's just that, let's be real, it's more controversial, right? It's not analytical whatsoever. It is a connection to your intuition, a connection to something that's intangible, right? And Capricorns, they're not always with it. But now, around this time, you could feel like you're drawn to all these different chakra cleansing courses and books on astrology, how to read your natal chart, and you're gonna dabble in like tarot readings, how to read tarot, and that's usually something that you would be wanting to learn how to do and discover more about it rather than get readings, I would say, because 3rd house is learning new skills, and the skills that you could be learning around this time, they could be spiritual, they could be something that is a little bit more unconventional, but not in the Uranus way, but in a spiritual way. It's like something that you don't discuss at an office, if that makes sense. So very interesting to see how it plays out for you guys. But also you could receive a download of information from higher powers that could actually trigger you to go and learn more about angels, about different spiritual paths, about divination, astrology, runes, whatever that might be, right? Because you may start receiving different downloads of information, and you may wonder, like, how am I getting this? What is this? Like, third house is when we receive messages. And normally it's through social media or letters or emails or maybe just through communication, right? But you may be receiving spiritual messages here. And I think that they can get you to be more interested in that side of life. What's really nice about this is that those spiritual powers, those divine powers, higher powers, whatever you want to call them, are going to guide you towards new goals and allow you to very subtly let go of the goals that do not bring you any point, any gains, you know, because we do have South Node here in the 11th house, where you need to let go of what the society wants from you, what the groups want from you. You need to let go of the certain gains that you have in your mind that you want to achieve with these goals, right? But this particular conjunction is going to reroute you in a way where your goals are going to align more with what you want. They're going to align more with what you believe in. And yeah, I think it's going to be nice. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say here. Good luck, Capricorn. And now we're moving on to Aquarius. So Aquarius, Jupiter and Neptune are conjuncting together in the second house, and they are trining South Node in the 10th. So, new way of how to make your money, basically. New source of income could literally come up here. You also may come to terms with the fact that the old ways, the old sources of income, old jobs maybe that you used to have, are just no longer cutting it, you know. And it's not because, let's say, you're experiencing crisis. You could, of course, you know, you could, with Saturn being in your sign, you could. But at the same time, you may feel like, well, I just don't like this anymore. This isn't who I am anymore. This isn't what I'm interested in. This isn't what I'm passionate about anymore. And Neptune can confuse you at first, you know, with the whole job situation, you know, should I stay, should I not? It can bring you all these different opportunities, and you may still question them, you may still see them kind of through the lens of fog. However, it is going to bring you what you truly need in this life right now, and it will possibly stay with you long term or forever, just because this transit happens every 166 years, guys. So this is something very significant, you know, but it's also going to point at your self-esteem, and it's going to teach you how to truly respect yourself, how to truly love yourself, and align with the job, with the way you live, right? So that it matches how you feel about yourself, if that makes sense. It wants to teach you more self-esteem, you know what I mean? It wants to show you that you need to love yourself, that you need to rest more, that you shouldn't constantly be working so hard, even though we all have to work hard to make money, right? But it's going to show you a different way that's aligning with the new you more, that is going to not only feel good for you spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, but is also going to maybe be more, it will make you more confident in life. I think that's what it's talking about here, because, you know, South Node in the 10th house, maybe it's time to change your professional path. Jupiter and Neptune in the 2nd house, how you make your money. There could be some professional changes here, but they are guided through the divine, by the divine. They are kind of helped through with the divine. You know, there is divine interference here, and there is a change in the very mundane world, but at the same time, if the divine didn't step in, maybe, you know, it wouldn't matter. Maybe it would always be the same, and not something that you're truly happy with, not something that you're passionate with. So allow the higher powers to do their work for you. Good luck, dear Aquarius, and we're moving on to Pisces. Hi, dear Pisces. So this is your transit. You are the stars of the show, and you will receive all the answers to your questions. around this time. You will already start feeling it. You will be feeling it all throughout April. And I encourage you to be that Pisces that is spiritual, not the one that's doesn't know boundaries, right? Doesn't really want to do anything unless they feel like it. Try to be the spiritual, compassionate, sensitive Pisces that everybody likes to praise, you know, in the horoscopes, like the nice side of Pisces. Because higher powers are really grabbing onto you right now, and they want the best for you, and they want you on the right path. And if you're not on the right path, they will readjust you. You will be able to get on the right path. However, I encourage you to try and to connect with higher powers as much as you can around this time, maybe even throughout April. Maybe if you could, you know, ask questions, because you will be receiving so many insights, so many messages, but you have to be on the lookout for them too. You know, you have to make sure that you are open to accepting these signs and these messages. Create an outlet through which you can receive those messages, whether it is through tarot, astrology, oracles, pendulum, talking to your angels before you go to bed, whatever you may be doing there, right? Maybe meditating again. There's so many things that I could just bring up right now, but I encourage you to do those spiritual practices, because you will be receiving the answers to all of your questions, and even the ones that maybe you thought you could never receive answers to, or maybe you felt like you couldn't believe in the best outcome of them. Things could really shift for you here in your favor. There could be a feeling of very strong compassion for the world, for the people. And you know, when I became a mom, I started experiencing that, like a full-on, like a real Pisces. You know, I'm Pisces ascendant, but of course it's motherhood, you know, that changes you. It's hormones and everything that change you. But at the same time, I know now, I know that I'm that true Pisces. And, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy to be a Pisces, and I encourage you to also protect yourself around this time, because different people will be attracted to you. You will be this shining light. You will be this sparkle. And everybody will be looking at you. Everybody will want to be next to you. But the problem is, you know, with Neptune, the problem is that it can attract tricksters. It can attract people that are ill, in a way, ill-willed, or people that are toxic, right? People that are alcoholics, right? And things like that. It can attract that kind of people towards you as well. So just be careful. Protect your energy. Energy vampires will also be on it, okay? So make sure that you show your compassion, but at the same time, make sure that you also take care of yourself and protect yourself energetically. Because all kinds of acquaintances may come around around this time. You could even get famous, by the way, you know, that's also a pretty big deal here in the first house. It can expand your reputation, it can expand your fame. But fame can be different, so keep in mind. But I would say that this transit is to confirm for you that you're on the right path, on the right spiritual path, on the right path in your life and with your character, how you're developing your character, what you're developing in your individuality. And if something's off, it'll change it for you. It will adjust it, it'll help you, and everything should be all right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.